Then the top part is left that we're going to create a drawers, okay? First of all, we open the front view and let me measure the distances. 427 and then 151.5. Let me write them down in the notepad. 151.5 for the height. Height 151.5, like this way. And then for the width, I measure it again, 427.2. I copy the dimension and then I paste it there in the notepad. And then for the depth, I open the left or right views and then I measure the depth. Watch this, 569.6. I paste it there. These are the default values that we need them, okay? Then check the preview visibility. Again, I want to open the, let me close the project. I want to open a new family template file, then metric generic model, like this way, and I want to model the drawers here actually. So we got the intersection as the reference. We draw these reference planes and then we equalize these. Watch this, the depth W and height. Watch this, D or as depth and W as width. I open the front view. I add a reference plane and then I associate this to edge or height. These are our dimensions. Let us adjust these dimensions at first. W, I move it upwards, H and D. Let me 427.2, 151.5, and 569.6. Okay, great. Then I select extrusion, I draw a rectangle like this way, and then I associate it to edge or height. Afterwards, void extrusion 1 centimeter. Okay, for the offset, and then I lock it 1 centimeter offset to the edges, like this way, and the last one. Very well. I open the 3D view. Actually, front view 10 centimeter for the extrusion start, finish, and then I lock it to the reference plane. Here is the result by this way. And I want to remove the offset here. I'll tell you why. Because this is the front side of the rubber, and we're gonna model a different face. We open the front view here. Here, let me check the dimension, 457.2 for the space that we need. We get back to the drawer template file and then we add two references, measuring the distances and adding dimensions equalized, and then Here I want to associate it to a new parameter. I name it W2. Okay. For now, I don't want to define formulas. I'm gonna use them. We specify the same value, 472.2. And in the continuation, I want to check the height. What's this? 181.5. I get back to this template file and reference plane. Then in this part, I draw it horizontally and one at the center, and then I measure the distances and equalize them. Check it out. Equalized. And then the dimension. I set 182 for the dimension of height here. Let me open the family types. Height 151.5, like this way. Okay. And associating this to a new parameter, naming it as h2. Great. One 151.5 and 181.5. Great. And then extrusion. Check it out. Then here at the top view, finish. Then I want to move it out 20, reference plane, and lock. I move it and then I lock it like this way. Here is the result. Up to now, then I want to save the file as, let me assign the name, ir-m dash revolver, for example. Revolver cabinet. And then I save the file. Then let us test it. I set the check the work plane based, save, and before that, let me specify the material. So, clicking on my category, associate family parameter, m dash revolver, like this way. Okay and okay. Saving the file, loading into the project, and opening the plan view component. I place it there for now, opening the front view. Then here let me check this. If we're gonna place it there, I should assign a name to this reference plane to convert them to a work plane so we can place the revolver and adjust it there since it is a work plane based. As you remember, we checked it. Edit work plane, we set it to this one, the new one. Great. Then I open the plan view. I wanna draw a reference line here at the center. Watch this. Let me adjust the angle 90 degrees. And then I want to make sure that we got equal dimensions here. Align by this way and then lock, measuring the dimension, reference. like this way, 20 and lock. Then placing dimensions from this part to the other plane. Then I name it drawer opening. However, we can provide them in left and right actually, like just like the doors, underscore instance in identity data and OK. Okay, very well. Here, as you can see, reference planes are over controlled. Let us check the results. It is okay. And I want to associate it to, however, I did not lock it. I think this was the reason. I get back to family types again. Very well. I unlock it and then I associate it to the drawer opening again by this way. L identity data. However, I can consider it to dimension group actually, instance and OK by this way. And still these are over controlled. Let me do something else. I delete it and then I want to measure this again like this way and equalize them like this way. I equalize them separately. Let's see the results. Perfect, it is resolved. And then for the opening of here, I can specify, let me see, I move it downwards, left drawer opening. Then I duplicate the separator. Watch this, I move it downwards to separate some parameters by this way. I just wanted to separate the drawer opening. I specify 500, 0. Great, I open the 3D view. Check it out, this is when we specify 0. Like this way. And practically it is covering the empty space. So I want to make some changes for the top part actually, and however, let me pick cut and then check it out. Cut, and then watch this. I want to link these two with each other. Here is the result. And then I want to use cut for these parts. I'm in void extrusion, pick a plane, a rectangle. Then I draw it like this way. Actually, not this way. Let me see. Let me adjust the view at first, and then I draw it by this to void it, align these two faces, and then lock, and also these two. Let me see by this way, and then finish to save the changes. Lock. Great. Okay. Better than before. Then edit type. Let me rename this to L underscore, and then I duplicate it. I replace R for right, left and right. Let us work on the left one. We specify the material. We set the body H2. I click on it, creating a new parameter. I start with drawer underline H2 and setting it to type and OK. New parameter drawer W. Very well. Again, new parameter drawer H. New parameter drawer D. Okay. And then again, new parameter W2. Very well. Okay. Afterwards, I wanna open the plan view, wireframe visual style. First of all, let me see. To adjust their positions, I move them downward.